Hi, my name's Phil. I like to talk about politics and, well, you couldn't make it up, could you? After years of being told to ignore the experts. One of the architects of Brexit, Iain Duncan Smith, has said that actually we need to listen to the experts, we need to recruit experts in order to make a success of Brexit. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, then please subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon. So, could you imagine it? Let's say you're a top economist or scientist or an engineer or legal mind or a doctor, and you spent the last few years warning not only about all the negative consequences of any form of Brexit, but especially about the harshest and most insane forms of Brexit. And the government is now plodding on with their insane plans for the hardest of Brexit. And then one of the dimwits who urged the public to ignore all your warnings now says they need your help. Well, this is exactly what seems to be happening. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not the Prime Minister saying this. This isn't the government. It's not even a cabinet minister. It is a bit of a political has-been, but it is one who is still influential in their party and was certainly an influential Brexiteer. Duncan Smith noted in an interview that we simply haven't got the capacity to negotiate trade deals. He observed that we haven't done this as a country for decades, and so we do not have the staff in-house for it. You mean like we've been telling you for years? And it has to be said, this Duncan Smith, he is a bit slow on the uptake. He is a bit thick. He's known as being a bit thick. He was the guy who quit as Minister for the Department for Work and Pensions, citing the heartlessness of Tory policies that he was expected to implement, policies that have killed a lot of British people. Took him ages to realise that Tory governments are cruel, and now it seems the penny has just dropped concerning how ill-prepared we are for dealing with the world post-Brexit. Still, I mustn't be mean, he is getting there eventually, unlike many of his colleagues. He identified transactional lawyers as a major source of weakness in our civil service, but also suggested that these are to be found, in London outside of the service, and we need to recruit them. And he is right that we do not have the necessary skills and experience in the civil service really to deal with this. Sure, some of the EU negotiators were British and they will now be available to the Prime Minister, the ones who are still in the service, which is not all of them. But we used to contribute a few people to the EU, and then the EU collectively negotiated deals a few at a time. And now we need entire teams of our own to negotiate with literally every country on earth, who is, of course, experienced at doing this in as short a time as possible. We don't have the capacity. If Iain Duncan Smith can work this out, it shouldn't take a lot of thinking. And it's not just about numbers, it is about specific skills. As Duncan Smith pointed out, there are some essential skills that it's not that we don't have enough people in the civil service, we don't have those skills at all. They weren't needed in the British civil service. We literally didn't need them. The government is going to have to farm it out from the private sector. There's no way you can do it any other way in such a short time. So is this what the government are doing? Certainly doesn't seem so. Yet again, we have the Bojo effect in operation here. He just thinks things will happen because he tells people to do them. He announces a policy. Go and get me great trade deals. And then as far as he's concerned, the work is done. He's done his job. He's told the civil service what his policy is. And if we don't get trade deals, then, someone's let him down. After all, his instructions were clear enough. I said, go and get me great trade deals. That's really clear, isn't it? And on the flip side, the government are apparently proceeding with some confidence towards the talks that are starting next month because they believe the EU is in disarray due to differences amongst the 27 member states. They're lauding this as a fantastic opportunity. The thing is, I'm not quite sure, first of all, where they're getting this disarray thing from. Absolutely, the member states will have their differences. Of course they will. They are 27 member states fighting for their own national interests. That is what you expect of national government. And each of the individual member states wants different things from a trade deal. Of course they do. But that is not in the UK's interest. This isn't a weakness that Johnson or his officials can exploit. It's something that emphasises the point that has been repeatedly made that trade negotiations are going to take a very, very long time. We are not trying to cut a deal with an organisation. We are trying to cut a deal with 27 different countries at once, and more than that, the same deal with 27 different countries, which makes it more difficult, more time consuming. It is not immediately obvious to me how that is good for a Prime Minister who wants a deal signed, sealed and delivered within 10 months. Perhaps he can point me towards an expert who can explain it simply. But oh wait, no. It's the former Conservative leader who's saying we need experts, not the current one as yet. So I hope you found the video interesting. If you did, don't forget to click the like button. And if you'd like to support the channel further, then please also click the Patreon link for details. And until next time, I'll see you later.